Testing. It's probably better. Yeah. All right, guys, so I'm sensing a pretty big move here. Although my notes do say don't expect too much. I believe disappointment, do not expect too much. So like there's a move to the upside out of a low, it looks like. Or there may be like a whipsaw here in the last hour. But this rune's significant. I'm picking up on it recently as something similar to a unicursal hexagram card. It's not a unicursal, but it's a similar kind of a deal going on here. A little bit of the runes I need to investigate, continue investigating and learning. They're a recent addition to these readings. If you guys don't know that, I started implementing the overlay of the ruins and reverse clairvoyant anchors probably like a little over a year ago. So really new. Sometimes that's what's thrown me off recently. A couple of the ones where I was really thrown off had to do with the placement of a ruin. My sense is that there is a big move here. I don't think to the upside. I think probably we test the resistance level, fail to break through it, and there very likely is a big move here. But over the weekend, likely a drop here, or not over the weekend, over the overnight. Excuse me. We've got the Hangman card, very significant card to see as a sneak preview card. The victory card, which is a breakout, is canceled out here. It's nullified, making me sense that even if we have a big bullish move here, it'll be out of a low, and that's how it's nullified, is my sense. So what I did around here was right around here. I closed my calls for like a minor loss, just a little teensy loss here, and I'm still holding my put. I've got 387 put, expires on the 12th. As soon as there's a good move, I'm outie. Yeah, see, we've got it here, and then we've got it again here. Big movement. When we look at the, that we were talking about the art card and retracements. So if you look, right, in the last move out of Friday, there was a move up, right? We fully retraced that move back down as soon as we opened with the art card here. And then we went into strife, followed by wealth, followed by decline, incline, decline. That's the Queen of Cups. Volatility with a sharp dip. Queen of Swords. Another big decline to the downside. The Cruelty card. 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. And then we've got the Devil card. So there's a big fake out here. My sense is that it's to the upside. This is marked incorrectly. That I marked up this reading prior to me learning more about this rune. Should be green. And then we've got the Ace of Discs. It's like a big move to a support. And that Hanged Man card. On the 1 month overview, we've got some real choppy, volatile kind of energy here, which makes it difficult to read. It's right as we go into retrograde. Mercury retrograde is on Friday, on the 9th. But I'm advised to open up protection here tomorrow around the close. Let's see. Yeah, and then there's a trade there around the close, right? Looks like a pretty bullish day tomorrow, but out of a gap down. And then this is, I'm really interested to know what this is. This is on the 8th, guys. This was the Ruin card, and when I cast the Ruins, the card flipped over and covered the Emperor card. I found that very interesting. Like something significant, and not in a good way for the president may pan out here tomorrow around that time, around 2 to 3ish, or the afternoon, I should say. So across the VWAP. I've noticed that about the Queen of Cups. It's becoming more bearish, I've noticed, over the last several months. When I look at the Queen of Cups, it's become much more bearish. It used to be like this, and now it's like the incline in between the two declines doesn't rise back up usually. It's more like it hits a resistance of a moving average or something diagonal. I'm gonna update the ebook pretty soon. There's a lot of stuff that I've learned since. Probably do one about the add in Ruins. Right, and so we had a decline that increases with momentum, moving out of the high, right? And it's nullified, right? So chances are is that big decline that we see off of a high is overnight. And you can see the Princess of Discs here, Princess of Discs here. Very likely that's where we have a low. That Ruin should be green. guys, if you don't know, everything at Tarot for Traders is color coded to make it easier to read. There's a language, and the colors have a lot of the colors represent different types of relationships, and that's how I'm able to read what I read, because it's so complex. There's so many overlapping patterns and things like that, that this really allows me to simplify it and read it. So once it's marked up, I can look at it and tell you what's going to happen. I don't have to like speak it out yet. Taking any questions? So we got a resistance here. I mean, that's even more of an indication that there's a drop overnight, guys, because, you know, in the last hour we have the devil card, and right now we're showing bullish behavior. Does that make sense? The devil card being like, you don't always know ahead of time what kind of behavior is going to happen, but you do know that you don't want to trust that behavior. It's like an intentional fake out, shake out. You got to understand, guys, we're not trading against other people for the most part. The majority of what we're trading against are high frequency algorithms. They're computers with artificial intelligence and machine learning capabilities. In other words, I like to call them high frequency trading or high frequency algorithms, because they don't want you to understand that you're trading against a supercomputer. Right? So this card indicates like a specific type of intent and a notable movement based on that intent by those supercomputers to cause impulsive decisions on retail investors. I'd be interested to know if there was anything really important about Congress today. Or maybe it hasn't come out yet. It comes out at the end of the... it probably came out around like 11 to 12-ish. Or he was on the news 11 to 12-ish likely. But also, if that's not the case, then probably after the close something comes out with Congress. Something like a Congress, like they say something important, or who knows. But there's a theme there around the trade. And it's also at a low. That's another indication of a low here, guys. There's so much telling me that low. And you can see the red when I was talking about the color code. So you see all this red, right? It's those represent correlations to the low significator, which is this card here. And these are timeline cards. So I'm able to determine where on the timeline there's a relationship between the low and the cards on the timeline. Crosses. I say the price level that this crossed around around the 391 there, or maybe around 3. Yeah, I'd say around 391, 390.70. I'll point out this line right here is a unicursal from Friday. That was the universal from Friday. And look at that, how it acted as a price level that we could basically expect to be below in our next downturn. And that's what the universal generally tells me. The thing about the universal, guys, you can make it mean whatever you want it to mean. Like, it doesn't have to mean that for you. If you're doing your own readings, you can make that card mean anything that you want it to mean. It's just it represents a significant, like, very important moment for me, you know. Amazon for September after the close today. It's the last September reading I'm doing, so Amazon's going to be coming out. Oh man, I got a ton of readings prepped and ready to record. A ton. Where's my thing? So I'm looking over the next 2.5 days. I'm looking to drop at least October's for at least AMC, Amazon, Bitcoin, Coinbase, gold, Ethereum, Shibcoin, XRP, and then we'll see what else I can do in October. I can get a lot more done in September for October. I'm just trying to get as much of October done and out of the way before we officially go into retrograde. So I'm dropping as much October as I can just prior to Friday. All right. Look at that, like a full retracement almost. I believe that's probably what we'll go into, guys, because we're just about to enter retrograde here. Where do you guys think the last retrograde was? Right? It's like, it's really predictable, retrograde. Especially, guys, when we go into the post-shadow, knowing what it's done in the pre-shadow is a very good indication of what it's going to do in the post-shadow. Sure thing, man. Add it right now. It's on the list. I'll just prioritize it for you. Donut. I'm pretty interested in that one myself, so... Anything else you guys want to see in October? Like, you want to make sure you see it on here while I'm still doing October? So big decline 1 and 2, right? Big decline 1 and 2. We got kind of like a lucky spot to drop from. Now, these are the last trades that I'll be making, guys. I'm not going to be trading from the 9th. Unless it's a closing trade. I'm not going to be trading from and pre-planned closing trade. And so I won't be trading from the 9th to, I believe it's the 3rd of October is when the post shadow starts. Let me see. October 2nd. So on the 3rd, I'll start trading again. I just want to trade around the shadows of the retrogrades because it's huge opportunity. So again, from like October 2nd to October 16th, the market's going to behave very similar to what it did between September 20th and October 10th, or excuse me, October 9th. Excuse me, August 20th through September 9th. What it does between August 20th and September 9th, it's going to repeat from October 2nd to October 16th. And you know, in your lives OXY on the list, it is not, but I will add it. I'm just adding it. I made a ticker tracker, so I know which readings I've done, because I do a lot of photos and then I come back and I mark them up. Sometimes I get so far ahead I forget about readings that I did, so I started a tracker. Alright, added. And that's another thing, guys, that I want to point out here. On the 7th, we have the Princess of Discs here. On the daily for today, we have the Princess of Discs at the low. And then tomorrow, Princess of Discs, what looks to be a low in the morning. And then bullish, like starting mid-morning through the rest of the day, aside from a failed attempt to break through resistance that then we retest and break through. I would say it's pretty bullish the rest of the day, but that's out of what's got to be a drop here. It's a pretty strong drop is my sense. Something to do with the president, I believe. Philip, do you know of anything that came out regarding Congress today that like maybe it was an important headline or something like that? I'm just curious. Unless you don't watch the news. I'm asking because I don't watch the news. It's probably one of like the most toxic things in the world. People don't understand the way the mind works and the way that metaphysics works and energy and how they're manifesting that which they focus on. They don't understand that, so they just keep watching this and perpetuating more evil, more violence, more hatred into the world. You're just perpetuating it by watching the news. And that doesn't mean that, like, I'm telling you to just ignore it. Like, you know, you crowd it out with good things, right? You replace it, you fill the space with positives. But watching the news does not tell you what's going on in the world. I mean, I'm sorry, that's like the silliest statement that's ever been made to me. I'm like, I don't watch the news, and people are like, oh, well, how do you know what's going on? I'm like, dude, how do you know what's going on? Because somebody else told you? Like, who are these people, man? There's so many of them. She was wearing all purple. What's that about? So in any case, this is a really important cash in opportunity, and my sense is that we have lower to go. We just have kind of like a push back to the upside after a big drop tomorrow, or actually the push to the upside is tomorrow after a big drop overnight. Try and be clear with retrograde, and then it looks like we continue to decline here. Brief opportunity there at a resistance level. That should be orange. Oh, I must have marked these up so long ago. Well, actually not that long ago, because there's some runes that I've just now really come to realize what they are trying to tell me. It takes time and you know, I mean, you have to check and see what it's doing. It takes time and experience to figure it out. That's a good way to use the news, Philip. So Philip said, I watch the news for the markers, not really for the information. So my understanding of that is by markers, let me know if I'm wrong, Philip, but by markers, he means that there's certain events along the timeline of cards that will help you to determine where you are on the timeline. Because sometimes, you know, it gets a little fuzzy, but then like for instance, on the 8th, when something happens with a male ruler of nations and some sort of like something bad happens, something goes wrong, you will know that we are now here on the timeline between like roughly 2 and 3 o'clock. But it may vary, right? It may vary. Sometimes the cards represent more than an hour. Sometimes they represent just like a quick moment. So that's why these marker cards are so important, is that they help to keep you on track of where you are. Well, I mean, probably she wore it for an intent. If she was wearing all purple, like notably all purple, then she probably, I'm sure she did it intentionally. What the meaning is, I'm not really sure. But I wouldn't pay attention to it in terms of like theoretically what it means for somebody else. I'm much more into the subjective reality where the symbol of purple connected to the Prime Minister of the UK has been brought to my attention. Purple for me and for Tarot for Traders indicates psychic phenomenon. It indicates trade opportunities, prognosis, things to like signals for the future. Which pipeline? Is it the one in, which pipeline is she shutting down? I guess they probably don't have too many pipelines in the UK. I'm guessing probably one. No, they'd have more than one, but like, you know, probably not many. Yeah, so low tomorrow it looks like. Then we're gonna have, this is there'll be a move at the end of the day, or excuse me, not at the end of the day. Tomorrow out of the low there'll be a move to the upside, and then at the end of the day or first thing in the morning on the 8th is when I would want to open up more protection. We have like a prominent crest here, but it'll be the end of a rally. So there'll be a notable move to the upside here on a 1 month chart if it stand out, but then it's a good opportunity to get in on the short position. And it looks like over the weekend we dropped pretty hard. So if you're gonna play, like my plan is to open up a straddle. Matter of fact, yeah, my plan is to open up a straddle here on the 8th that has expirations like past the other end of retrograde. And just hold it over retrograde, sell it right on the edge of retrograde before we have another reversal. And what I would do at that point is double down on the one that lost money. Something along those lines. That's my Mercury retrograde trade strategy that I formulated. It took me like over years of trial and error. I started following Mercury retrograde in relation to the S&P 500 specifically in 2007. And there's 3 to 4 of them a year. So what is that? If we went with make it easy 3 here, 15. That's 45 retrogrades that I've watched in relation to the S&P 500. That's a pretty significant amount. Yeah, 555 is a lot of people would say that is it's a magic number. That's a number of manifestation. Represents the 5 elements, alchemical elements. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was going to ask Russia. So they're shutting that down. Interesting. You know, I mean, and that's they're giving my senses right now that there's a reason why they're shutting it down that they're not talking about. It's different than what they're giving as the reason. There's something much more strategic going on than just like an environmental cause. That's what my sense is right now, what I'm picking up on. And then I'll likely sell my puts, the ones that I buy at that brief move to the upside around like the end of the 7th or early in the 8th. The puts, oh, well, no, I wouldn't. If I was going to swing trade, but I'm going to do, like I said, the Mercury retrograde strategy, so they'll go out further. But on a short term, if I was going to trade, what I'd do is I would sell those puts here, like at a low on the 13th. These are big movements, guys. These are big movements, these two here. And whatever it is, it's whatever the reason. I mean, it very well has something to do with like, there'll be something like crisis-wise on there, but it's strategic. There's a reason other than what is the cause? I mean, if I knew the cause actually, or what she's saying is the cause, the reasoning for doing it, that would also rule out what the real cause, I would rule that out as the real cause. I mean, it would be one that's not, and then that would narrow the search. I mean, my sense is, what time should we get out of the puts tomorrow? Well, I'm getting out of the puts. I try not to tell you guys what to do, I try to tell you guys what I'm doing. But my plan is to get out of the puts. Man, that Prudence card, I hate that Prudence card. Probably just a little bit after the close, somewhere. I'd be out of the puts. I'll likely be out of the puts before 11 o'clock. There's a big move there between 10 and 11. It looks like. Excuse me. No, there's a big move at the end of the day. The very end of the day. And it looks like there's a low. There's likely a low here around like the 10 to 11 o'clock hour. So somewhere there. It depends. When we're at a note, like an important an important support level on a 1-day chart and on a 1-month chart. And why do I do that? Because we have, for the 7th, we have the Princess of Discs, so that's a cash-in opportunity, and very likely on a support level. So I'm looking for a significant support level that will be moving sideways along, and maybe just briefly, but an important support level on both a 1-day chart and a 1-month chart. And at that level, I'll be selling my puts. That's what I call a cross-reading congruency, or cross-time frame congruency, I should say. They're different. Cross-time frame congruency, it's like the same card appears in nearly the same place on both like a greater time frame reading and a smaller time frame reading that is contained within the greater time frame reading, right? So like a daily and a 1-month have the same card appearing on like the 2nd. That would be a cross time frame congruency, and it really adds a lot of gravitas to the importance of those cards. Whereas like a cross reading congruency, it could be the same time frame, and it's just kind of like helping to notate a price point based on a prior card's position on the timeline. Well, so here's the year. Here's the 1 year for S&P 500. This is a very old spread. I don't do my 1 years this way because I get more information from them a new way that I do it. But with that said, early September we're supposed to have a low, and that could, you have to give or take, like, I'd say 2 weeks, because there's so few cards representing the time frames of these. These are really generalized. These clusters are each a month. This is the September cluster. It's hard for me to determine, because when we look at on the congruencies here at the beginning of September, right, on the 1 year, when I look at September on September's 1 month, we have an important support level that was highlighted. We broke through at the high there. This is the completion of a rally marked by a fast sudden move to the upside. And that's what I find interesting, is that we have this unicursal here at the end. It makes it for quite an interesting bit of a reading, because it seems a bit out of place to me. Oh, well, okay, so there is a big move there, a fast sudden move to the upside here. And then we break down from that. But, so towards the end of the month, we should see a fast sudden move to the upside after a notable decline. And then there's sideways fluctuations as well. So you know, can be a little tricky. And that's part of why I don't trade during retrograde. It becomes so blurry. Like it's just, there's so much going on. It becomes very difficult to determine direction. There's lots of whipsaw action. You make fat finger errors. Like you buy a put instead of a call. You sell your call when you meant to sell a put. You know, things like that happen. You end up triggering the pattern day trading 90-day rule. You know, like things like that happen during retrograde. It's really advised not to trade during it, guys. We had somebody that used to watch, and they were doing great, and they didn't do so hot during retrograde. And I remember then they came on here and they were like, I traded real money and lost, and that was the last we ever heard from them. Well, bye-bye. How about all the times you made money? So guys, if you get pissed, don't pull that. You will get blocked. Like, you know, that's like saying to an analyst, "Oh, you an asshole. You were wrong." Like, you know, like you're gonna be wrong. And I never claim to be right all the time. And I also am very, very clear. I don't think it's a good idea to trade during retrograde. So, you know, if you lose money, it happens occasionally, but don't act like a child. Like, seriously, I don't have patience for that at all. It's too difficult for me to grow a following as it is. I don't need somebody intentionally trying to, like, hurt my reputation on a live stream. Like, no. So, yeah. I didn't block him, but if I ever see something like that again, blocked. I don't have patience for that. I work too hard to give away free information. So sue me, I was wrong once. You know, like, come on, man. Chances are more like the guy overinvested. Anything that you guys want to see aside from OXY and DNUT? Any other tickers that you want to make sure I have readings for in October? On to October. The last September reading that I'm doing is coming out after this live. I'll be recording Amazon for October, and then that's it. Everything's September moving forward. I have better results the further out I get. How crazy is that? Let me explain. So when you have a lot of doubt that you battle, and I had so much doubt to overcome, guys. Like I had to retrain the way that I thought about everything to be able to do this, right? And every now and again, I find myself battling old thought forms, right? There's a lot less of that transpires when you have it so far out that you just forget about it, and that's why the accuracy is better. I feel pretty strongly we're going to reach a low here in September, Philip. I feel pretty strongly about that. I mean, aside from a little bit in early October, a little bit of bearishness here in early October. Even this card in the bottom, the disappointment card, it has some bullish behavior or bullish energy in it. We have to fail attempt at a resistance level before there's a decline. But right after that, we've got bullish, resistance. These are auspicious. I mean, decline after in December. But this is the sneak preview card. If you guys are wondering about 2023, this is the sneak preview card for 2023. The wealth card. So it's very likely that we have a good opportunity to open up long positions here in the midst of this downturn, guys, for like long-term long positions. Yeah, sure, I'll do a reading on that. got a yes on a 1-card flip. So there is something happening. And I mean, you know, you can almost bet, well, really, you could bet money on it. That's what we're doing. We're betting money on it. When retrograde hits, we'll be in the midst of some sort of crisis. I think I've probably seen 1 to 2 super bullish retrogrades. That's it. Out of 45 that I've watched. That's pretty good odds, my friends. Just adding that to my ticker tracker. I'm also going to get Artemis done. Artemis, Avalanche, Grab. There's a bunch. I got a bunch on this list. Blackberry? Sure thing, man. I got it. Add that one too. I'm also going to do Harmony. I'm going to do Grin. RYLD. There was a bunch that were requested a while back, and I just didn't have time to get to them yet. But they're on here, like BNB, BST, BSTZ, BTBT. Let me add Blackberry. I always notate it. If you request it in the comments, guys, and I haven't gotten to it yet, it's just because I'm backed up. Don't think I'm not going to get to it. I'll get to it eventually. If you're wanting it every single month, guys, it's a lot of work. I highly recommend, if you want to guarantee that you see a ticker every single month, you should go to our website, tarotfortraders.com, and sign up for a subscription. And then that way, not only will you guarantee that you get it every month, but you'll get it before everybody else. It will become privatized for the first 2 weeks of the month. And for anybody else to see it ahead of time, they're going to have to pay just like you did at that point. It also supports our channel significantly, guys. We need the help. Especially because they keep, like, my plan was to really monetize on TikTok, and like you get these really like just evil people that just like report you for nothing, and the algorithm like just suspended until the 9th. It's like almost 2 weeks that I was suspended, like for nothing. I did absolutely nothing wrong. They probably just didn't like that I said yes or no. Like nothing else was done. How can you bully somebody like that, you know? In actuality, falsely reporting somebody's bullying. And you know, it's something that I have to deal with being a male psychic. It's something that that I have to deal with being a male psychic, because there's so many stereotypes. Not only am I male psychic, but I don't look like a psychic, period. Like, and I purposefully try not to, because I'm not interested in getting people who already believe in psychics to believe in psychics. They're already there. Their mind is open. They're in the upward spiral because their mind is open. They're able to receive and grow, right? It's the ones whose minds are closed. Those are the ones that I'm trying to influence. That is my purpose, is the hard one, guy. The hard projects. The ones that, like, the less experienced souls are maybe would have difficulty with. That's why I'm in the stock market. That's why I wear Giavetti or whatever you call it, you know. I don't even know what it's called, you know. And you better believe I didn't pay full price. I would never do that. But with that said, I have to put on you know, a certain kind of like image to attract the individuals that I'm looking to help. There's souls that are going up, there's souls that are going down, there's souls that are going nowhere, and then there's souls that have gone up and then back down and then up and then down and then up and then down, and they just do this. That's me. That's who I am. Oh yeah, no, I added it, basically. It's on the list. No problem. I got it on there. Oh, yikes. All right, thanks for bringing that to my attention, Lisa. We just had a change. Like my executive assistant / personal assistant / Jill of all trades. She had kind of like a sudden exit from our team, and I'm in the process of training a new one. So I'm glad you brought that to my attention. I'll take a look at that, and we'll make sure we update that for you. You got it, Besa. Yeah, Tesla is one that's been on the list, and I just keep missing it. You know, it's like there's only so much I can do, guys. Each of these monthlies easily takes me, if I'm fast and I'm 100% focused and like there's nothing else going on around me, I could do a monthly in probably an hour and a half. Like the markup and the recording. But then there's also the setup of the reading. Like doing the actual photography is the part that takes the longest. In most cases. So yeah, I mean, it's like you could say cumulative, like more realistically than an hour and a half. It takes me about 3 hours per 1 month. The dailies are much faster. I could do a week in probably 30 minutes. Well, if you subscribe, I'll be much appreciative, even more so of that, Philip. I'm already appreciative, my friend. All right, that's 4 o'clock. I'll take any last questions, guys, and then look out for the Amazon. I'll be recording that right after this. I'm going to grab some water, and then when I come back, if there's any questions, I'll answer those real quick. All right, guys. So I'm not an affiliate of this chocolate bar by any means. I'm not making any money. There's no incentive for me. I just want you guys to know that these Tony's Chocolonely chocolate bars are like, they're like a gift from heaven. I love them, and they're also slave-free, made with slave-free chocolate. That's why I thought I'd let you guys know, because I love these. They were on sale, $2 off. I bought like a whole bunch. You should support the slave-free chocolate. Alright, Lisa, so you think 9:30 a.m. will be the low? I think it'll be before 10, not necessarily right at the open. What I'm looking for, Lisa, is because we have a cross time frame congruency and a cross reading congruency. What I mean by that is this Princess of Discs card here. It appears here on the 6th as a low, so likely this is a lower low than what we see today. But then also it's given some significance, some real gravitas, if you will, because it also correlates to the day of the 7th on the 1 month for S&P 500. So that's what I mean by cross time frame congruency. It overlaps, and you find it on both readings, and then cross reading congruency because it appears in the prior day's reading as well. So pretty significant. My sense is that that it'll be somewhere before 10 o'clock. Excuse me, before 11 o'clock. But there is it looks like a big move towards the end of the day. So you want to be careful, and it's a bullish move. If we gap down significantly overnight, I would probably just sell at the open because of that prudence card. But if we don't have like a really big gap down tomorrow, I don't see much of a decline overnight. Then I would expect it to happen in this first half hour to an hour and a half. And that could very well be what the prudence card is telling us to be careful of, is that there could be a decline here early in the morning that makes people think we're going bearish the rest of the day, and then we turn around and we have a big bullish day the rest of the day, starting like mid-afternoon. Starting mid-morning. There goes E-Trade. Oh my god, that chocolate's so good, guys. Wow. Yeah, thank you, Bisa. Thanks for watching, man. It's glad to have people I'm glad to have people that I can help out with this information, and not just for me. HSY for 10 years. It's chocolate. Oh, Hershey. Is that Hershey? HSY? I'll add that one on there, yeah. You know, something that I picked up on, guys, when I was doing I never got to it because I sent all this footage to my assistant, and then she like just bailed for no reason. Probably got a better paying job, and you know what I mean? I mean, in any case, it's good when that happens because I see who's loyal. And there was this footage from New York when I was doing when I was doing clairvoyant fishing in New York City, and what I picked up on was not just like one fast food in particular, but all of the fast food chains. So I've been meaning to get Eats, EATZ, on the list. The fast food, and it would make sense if we're going into like a serious economic decline. Fast food tends to do better there because, you know, it's like people are working harder. It's relatively inexpensive when you think about it compared to like a restaurant and having the tip and all these things. You know, so like, and it's the lower class that gets hit by the economic downturn the most, right? So lower class eats a lot more fast food apparently. So lots of reasons why that would make sense. But even before thinking about all that, I was picking up on fast food like significantly when I was in New York. In Manhattan, I should say. It didn't used to be you didn't used to see any type of chains in Manhattan. I mean, McDonald's, you know, you'd see a Burger King, but like it was really like sparse, and they were in the bad neighborhoods. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna find out what's going on with your order, Lisa, and I'll message you through the site. Appreciate the order. And thanks to everybody for watching. Remember, guys, when you make money from these readings, pay a little bit of it forward, a little bit of it back, and spend it all on love. And the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold in all directions.